Welcome to Cooking with Cindy. My name is Cindy Lorimer, and I'm going to be doing a Thanksgiving special, sharing with you all of my dishes that I will be making for Thanksgiving dinner. I have been using so many of these dishes for the last 10 plus years. They're so good that I can't imagine using anything else. So one of them is this beautiful mushroom gravy sauce, which is perfect because my niece is vegetarian, so it's great for her. She can eat this, pour it over mashed potatoes, etc. I actually got this recipe from Recipe Tin Eats. They're actually a great website, and she does tons of recipes. Asians, non-Asians, everything. Anyway, so in her recipe, she uses beef broth. However, I actually like to use vegetable broth for my vegetarians. I always like to do a vegetarian or vegan options any chance that I can get, only because I live in LA and there are so many people with different dietary needs. This is vegetarian. If you want to make it vegan, then you can substitute the butter. But you will need 3 tablespoons of garlic. On Thanksgiving Day, I'm just going to stuff my head off, right? I'm going to consume as many calories as possible. And you know, they say that if you consume 4,000 calories, anything beyond that doesn't matter. So why would you stop at 4,000 at that point? Just keep going. Only for that one day. Not encouraging anyone to eat like that every day. Okay, then we're going to do the star of the recipe, which are the mushrooms. Now, you can use any kind of brown mushroom. I love cremini mushrooms, right? What's interesting is cremini mushrooms and baby bella mushrooms, guess what? They're the exact same thing. Why are they called 2 different names? I don't know. You should Google that. Okay, so we're going to slice these. Her recipe calls for 14 ounces. I'm just going to round it up to a pound. And you're going to want to slice them vertically, like that. So now we're going to use 3 tablespoons of butter. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then with this, we're going to cook the mushroom into 2 batches. So let's go over to our stovetop. I love using a cast iron pan only because it browns and caramelizes everything so nicely. But with the cast iron pan, you always want to make sure you heat it first and it's nice and warm. Add oil. I love using avocado oil. And then we're going to add half of the mushrooms only because you want to be able to brown it. And if you add and fry up all the mushroom at once, it's going to steam it more than it's going to brown and caramelize. And that's why it's important to also use a large skillet. Add a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of kosher salt. I always like to cook with kosher salt. And then you want to just let it sit for a couple of minutes on each side. So I'm going to try not to touch it. When one cooks, it's very tempting to constantly stir everything and fiddle with the food, etc., etc. But when you want to brown something, you just gotta not touch it. Try to resist to not touch it for 2 minutes, and then we'll toss it. See how it's nice and brown? You want to, in this last couple minutes, you want to add half of the chopped garlic. And the reason why you don't do it in the beginning is because your garlic is going to burn. Gosh, it smells so good already. I mean, you can't go wrong. I love mushrooms. When I was younger, I didn't like mushroom, but you know, your taste buds are constantly changing, right? Even when you're in your 50s, in your 60s, in your 70s, I'm sure when I'm going to be in my 60s, there's going to be things that I didn't like that I'm going to love eating. I don't know what it would be, but let's see. A couple minutes have passed. We're now going to remove this. Look at how beautiful that is. And then we're going to do our second batch. So repeat the process. Add oil, your butter. I love hearing that sizzle. It's the best part about cooking. Well, the best part about cooking is getting to eat your food. And then this comes second. Okay, so add your mushrooms. Give it a toss so then the mushroom is coated in the butter. And then create a single layer. And then let it sit untouched. This last batch, or this second batch, is now done. So we set it aside. Now I'm going to make my roux. So melt the butter. And then add the flour, all-purpose flour. And you just want to constantly stir it like this to cook the flour and not allow it to burn. You want to do this for a couple minutes. And then you want to slowly pour this in and whisk it. Do you smell that? I mean, I'm talking to my cameraman because obviously you guys can't smell it. But God, that smells so good. Wow. Wow. So you're going to do this for 3 to 4 minutes until it starts thickening. It's important to constantly whisk. You can't stop, or else the second you stop whisking, it's going to burn. Okay, I feel like this is now thick enough. And then mix that together. Wow. Turn the heat down there. And then you want to cook this for another minute. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Where's my turkey? I want my turkey. What I love about this gravy recipe is that it doesn't require any drippings. I know from personal experience on Thanksgiving Day, I get so nervous because anytime I make my turkey gravy, I'm waiting for the dripping. And sometimes it's like literally all the guests are arriving. I just barely pulled my turkey out of the oven. And here I am trying to make the turkey gravy. So this is a great alternative. And I'm gonna do a taste test on this one. But look, I want you to see as soon as it starts cooling down, the thickness of this gravy. So if you don't like it too thick, I would recommend adding more vegetable broth. My husband Peter doesn't like his gravy too thick, so I'm probably, once I reheat this, I'm gonna add more vegetable broth, so it's basically to your consistency liking. That is beautiful. You don't miss the beef broth at all. Mmm. And the mushroom still has a nice crunch to it, and it's chewy. You can't even tell that it's vegetarian. It tastes really nice and meaty from the mushroom. So there you go. Mushroom gravy. I hope you make it, and I hope you include it for your Thanksgiving menu. Until next time.